let's keep it going. Let's talk about Adidas real quick. We talked about Adidas last week a little bit. So it seems like Adidas is clearly still having some real issues. They released some more numbers, and it looks like they took a real big deficit from this Yeezy hit and this from dropping Kanye. So more interestingly, though, Beyonce thought she was really about to make moves with this clothing line that she put. Let me not put my personal opinion. Let me stop doing that. Beyonce put out a clothing line, Ivy Park with Adidas, which is actually, I think this is either their second or third drop in the past, over the past 5 or 6 years, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe at most 4 or 5. But this drop really, really, really did not do well. From the numbers I saw, they're saying that they didn't even sell half of the product that they had available. They tried a lot of different ad campaigns. They tried to make shoes that kind of resembled the Yeezys. They had Offset and I believe Ice Spice and some other people model for the ads for it, but it did not do good. And I heard they lost. They took a real big L.
On Ivy Park.
Yeah, on this Ivy Park situation.
Because you tried to replace Kanye with Ice Spice, you dummy.
Not Ice Spice. It's Beyonce's clothing line, but I mean they just use Ice Spice and Offset for like ads because.
No, I get it. Like Ice Spice and off, like come on now. Like
I think
if you're trying to sell Kanye numbers or at least keep close to it, you gotta pick people who are like the closest. You know what I'm saying? Like get J. Cole. You know what I'm saying?
So
Like get
they did
somebody
this
that
after
can give you those numbers.
they did this after the Kanye stuff. They like signed Beyonce and did the Ivy Park drop.
No, like I said, this drop I think is the third drop they did. The first one I remember was like before the pandemic. It has to be like 2019 or so, like early 2020. And then I remember even that one didn't completely sell out. It did a lot better than this one, but it didn't sell out. But I was looking what a lot of people were saying, because a lot of people are like, yo, why, how Beyonce's clothing line from Beyonce should sell out. But people were like, the reason why you see people like Rihanna should sell, because Rihanna is doing makeup and stuff like that, which is clearly right up her alley. Kanye West and people like him and Pharrell and them, they can sell clothes because they're very like clothes oriented. You're always going to see them wearing their clothes or wearing some sort of latest fashion. You don't even see Beyonce outside. Like you don't even see pictures of her walking around outside. So it's hard to identify her with a clothing line, especially when it's not even named after her. Like, you know what I mean? So
and realistically, she's not no fashion icon. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
she's not.
She probably knows this.
And I looked at some of the clothes too, and I was like, yeah, some of these designs you could tell, even if people wanted to support her, they're just not very like, they're not what like fashion people would wear these days. You know what I mean? So
it was just something to put her name on type ish.
Yeah. So, but so what do you guys think as far as the Adidas situation? Do you think they could do anything to like, with the exception of hooking back up with Kanye West? Do you think that they could do anything to get out this situation?
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, Don. You go first.
Yeah, like you said, with the exception of hooking up with Kanye West, they're gonna have to hook up with somebody. I mean, shit, who else could they hook up with? I mean, Beyonce. I guess they thought she would hit because like she's Beyonce, but like I said, she's not a fashion icon, and I can't think of anybody else who will go hard besides like Kanye. Like I can't think of anybody else that can be like, oh, let's do this with them, and you know what I'm saying, it's gonna sell as much or close. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I think in general they should just kind of step back from trying to do like a collaboration with someone in the culture. You know what I mean? Like I think maybe they should start working on some original designs, finding some young creatives and stuff like that, people that they're willing to give a platform. I didn't even know Beyonce had a club. Yeah, see, like a lot of people didn't even know. And I think she called it Ivy Park, obviously because of like her because of her daughter, and then I forgot where the park came from. I think it has something to do with the neighborhood she grew up in or something like that.
Got you.
But I think she should have named it like Be Easy or Beyonce Easy or something like that. You know what I mean? Like
the Beehive.
Yeah, like or kept the Beehive thing, like because you just don't identify it with Beyonce, like her calling it Ivy Park, and then she didn't she didn't do any of the ads. She got other people to do the ads. So it's like your imprint is not really on this, or your signature is not really on this in any kind of way. So even the people that support you are really looking forward to it, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, like my opinion on it is like I honestly feel like if if they can't figure out how to rebrand what they're already known for, like Adidas has been around for years. Like everybody knows them for the shell toes, the whole Run DMC look, like all that. Like if there's no way for you to rebrand what people know you for, then you like Jay said, you got to bring in some fresh new talent that could take what you're known for and elevate that. Like you see Nike's always elevating beyond, beyond measures.
Yeah.
Reebok is even elevating in their own way, like under the radar, but at least they elevating and staying in their lane. You know what I'm saying? Like you just you gotta do what makes sense. But it seems to me like they definitely got so used to piggybacking off of Kanye that now they're like scrambling. You know what I'm saying?
Kanye, it seemed like Kanye was Adidas.
How would you say?
I
Word.
feel like it seemed like Kanye was Adidas. You know what I'm saying? Anytime,
Facts.
it's crazy because anytime I seen Adidas, any kind of Adidas shoes, I was just like kind of just think in my mind Yeezys. You know what I'm saying? Even though they weren't Yeezys, but like, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that got Adidas shoes on, it just, the thought of Kanye came to my mind. So it's like, he kind of was like the face of Adidas in a crazy way. I like that J. Cole idea too. J. Cole be dope, but I think he partnered with Puma.
He's with Puma, so he can't even.
So he can't mess with Adidas. Yeah,
that's another thing too. Everybody's getting snatched up by somebody, so it's hard to like go out there and find somebody who could actually give you some pull to you and get you some money that's actually not on someone else's roster. So, but yeah, shout out to Adidas. I hope they figure it out. I don't think they will because I don't really see there's much they can do. But